Now, if you don't know how to log into your panel at this point, I suggest you go back and watch one of the other videos. As you can see before, there wasn't a post, but I've added one post. I've done it for a reason, because it's something I just want to point out in the beginning, and it is part of the settings feature here. As before, you can navigate from the side down, or you can actually open it up, and again you can just navigate inside this area. There are some settings, but I want to talk about permalinks because that's quite important. Now, the permalink structure was set to this before. What I'll do is I'll just show you an example. This is the default. So if you hit the default there, you save changes. Okay. Now if you go to posts, you can see I put there test post. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into making the post yet. I just want to show you something that's really beneficial as relation to being found and ranking and whatever else you're attempting to do. And you can see that I published that one. So I'm going to go to the shortcut here. Now this is the test post. Now this is a default, your default URL website. Now this is a test post I put in here. This is a test. This is to test the outlook of a standard permalink. Now this is what it comes up as per normal. So when you hit that link, right, and you look at that URL path, it's got question mark P8, which is of no benefit to the search engines, of no benefit to your content, and no benefit to your ranking. So it's important that you change that. So that's why I wanted to cover that first. So you just go back to the dashboard, go down to settings, and then it's a permalinks here. What you want to do is, by default, you want to set it advisable. Obviously there's other options here, but I suggest that you go by the post name. And if you don't want the / at the end, you can always take out the end so it finishes on the actual keyword or the title of the post, or exactly the post that you're sending. So when you do that, make sure you save changes. And now when you go back to the post now, and if you just hit that page, it'll give a standard default. Now that's the URL. Now if somebody had to look at that post now you notice now the URL is perfect. It's how it should be, which is test post. That way you have your website and then your keyword, and then obviously helps you with your ranking and your SEO, which is search engine optimization, which we'll cover in later videos. But let's get this done as per normal. So now let's go back to the rest of the settings so you can get an idea of all that is. In the settings one, let's just open up the whole thing. Now the first one is the general settings. You've got here steps to using WordPress to create a website. That's your title. Now if you go back to your website, you can see that's the title. Okay. And then when you go to guides and videos to using WordPress to create a website of your own. Now that's a tagline. So this is basically just a few words to explain your website. Now if you look below that, you'll see guides and videos to using WordPress to create your own website of your own. So just to show you the relevance of how it works in the dashboard and relevance to your website. That's just your URL addresses. That's your email. Now obviously I'm going to show you later on how you can set up a host email account free. That way you can have your website, your info at yourwebsiteinfo.com, whichever way you want to put it. Now I wouldn't play with any of the other settings at this point, just leave it as per standard. This thing is the writing side of it. Now I wouldn't play with too much about this. This is the size of the post box. Now this is for categories at the minute. Now you can set a default category. We haven't created any categories yet, so we'll cover that later, and we'll also cover things like bug roles and stuff. And again, don't be playing with all this stuff at the minute. The idea of this course, is just to create a website with WordPress, and you've got to do it in a systematic way. Now the reading side of it is as a viewer would read it, how many posts they can see, so you can obviously change how many posts you want to be displayed. And that's RSS feeds, which is simple syndication. Now that's something else you can cover later on. That's the article feed what is it, you want the full text or you want a summary. But there again, that's something that's more advanced and later on. That there is the format of your HTML coding for WordPress. I wouldn't be touching that. And again, although we haven't changed anything, let's just save it. The next one is discussions. Now this is people being able to comment on your website. There's a few options here. There is one option here that I highly suggest that you check, and it's before a comment appears, an administrator must always approve the comment. Because what happens is if you don't do that, then you're going to get all sorts of auto bots and people trying to link off your website with no relevance, and it makes it look really messy and it gets very frustrating. That way you'd receive an email and then you can check it out, and if you're happy enough you can approve it. And then obviously there's other options like comments author must have previous approved comments, things like that, which will help the security side of things as well. Now the media, I'm not going to go into too much about the media because later on I'll show you how to upload images and stuff, but obviously that's the sizing and the thumbnail size, and when you upload an image you have the option of large, medium, so you can actually change those settings if you want them small, and that's auto embed, which is something later that you'll deal with. And then privacy. Now this is important as well. If you don't check this, the search engines are not going to find you, and I assume the point is to actually get traffic and people know where you are. Otherwise, if it is a personal blog and you don't want anybody else to know you're around, you can check that one, and then this way, the only person who can see it is people that you give the website address to. But in this case, we're going to make sure that the search engine can find us. Now that's as much as I want to cover on this page as hunky-dory, and now we're ready to start building the website, because all places settings are as they should be for first setup. Now this is the one that I just explained to you, which is about the permalink side of it. So we just completed that one in FileZilla. So I've covered a few of them, but not the whole 79 videos that they have. I'm only one person. I'm not going to catch them by any chance. But this will just give you an idea of the amount of information and training you can receive. It works like 186 or something ridiculous per video. Here we go. This is the one we're going to do next. I'm going to go into plugins. I'm going to show you how to install them automatically, and I'm going to show you how to plug them in and delete them, and I'm also going to show you how to do them manually as well. So I'm going to cover all three of those in one. But as I say, this is just me giving a quick guidance, and you will learn a hell of a lot from me obviously, but you'll learn a lot more and a lot quicker from them. So I'll leave it at that.